Hello and welcome to our next week of math. Yay! So here we have pages 97 through 99, and it is all about finding factors. So let's start with our boss question. Here we go. Part A is 6, a factor of 1,926, and part B is 203, a factor of 1,359. If you think you know how to solve this, go ahead, pause the video, and give it a try. Please put your answer in the math document so I can see it. Alright, so part 1. We want to find factors. Here we go. So just as a review, what are factors? They are, I guess you'd say, numbers. They have to be whole numbers. They can't be like 3.278. Nope. And they can't be like 5/12. Nope. Those don't count as factors. They have to be numbers that can be multiplied to get another number. That's why you never just say, is it a factor? You say, is it a factor of another number? Here, I'll draw a couple examples. So if I say, what is a factor of 12? Well, I can have 12 times 1, so 12 is a factor of 12, and 1 is a factor of 12. I could have 3 times 4, so 3 is a factor, and 4 is a factor. Both are factors of 12. I could have 2 times 6, so 2 is a factor of 12, and 6 is a factor of 12. So it has to be a regular whole number that can be multiplied to get whatever number you're asking about. Hopefully that'll make more sense with some examples. So here we have finding factors by skip counting is our first method. So if you want to know is 2 a factor of 8, you can skip count by 2's to find that out. Oops, let me make sure I'm clicked on the right thing here. So here I'm going to draw a picture. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, I got to 8. So 2, if I make rows of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, I get to 8. So 2 is a factor of 8. Yes. Another example is 5, a factor of 12. Okay, so we'll skip count by 5's. Your book does it with pictures too, so I'm just going to add these. 5. Another row. 10. Another row. 15. Oh, that's more than 12. I never said 12, so 5 is not a factor of 12. Because I cannot skip count by 5's and reach 12, because 12 will be in between these two numbers. Oops, it's not a factor. Let's do one more. Is 7 a factor of 28? So go ahead and try it. Pause the video if you are ready. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So we have 7. Skip counting. 14. 21. 28. Oh, I got to 28. So 7 is a factor of 28, yes. So that's how we can skip count. You can either draw the picture or you can just draw the skip counting. 7, 14, 21, 28. Got to 28. 7 is a factor of 28. Here is another method for finding factors just by, I call this trial and error, which means trying stuff. And then just seeing if any of the things looks right. But I'll give you an example. So you know something's a factor if you can take it, you can multiply it by something, and it will get the solution you want. So what are the factors of 6? Okay, so we're going to be trying out some numbers, so I'm going to leave some blank boxes. Something times 1 equals 6. Let's see if that works. Something times 2 equals 6. Something times 3 equals 6. Something times 4 equals 6. These are all things we're going to try. Something times 5 equals 6. Something times 6 equals 6. I'm not going to go over 6 because, like we talked about last week, you can't have a bigger number than 6 be a factor of 6. It's just not going to work out. So you can only go up to 6 here. Okay, so now we're going to test out and see if any of these numbers are a factor of 6. So what times 1 equals 6? Okay, I can think of one. There we go. 6 times 1 equals 6, so 1 is a factor. Okay, well, something times 2 equals 6. Yeah, 3, so 2 is a factor. Well, something times 3 equals 6. Oh, yep, so 3 is a factor. We got a lot of factors. Will anything multiplied by 4 equal 6? Well, not a whole number, so I'm going to X that out. Same thing with 5. And here, 1 times 6 equals 6. So 6 is a factor. So we have found our factors. They are 1, 2, 3, and 6. So just by multiplying all the whole numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, until we got to 6, we were able to, by testing out whether it can be multiplied by something and then get 6, we were able to just find the factors that way. I don't recommend this way normally because it's kind of a lot of work. So the skip counting will probably be easier, and also our next technique. Yeah, part 3. I should erase that part 1. Okay, we're going to find factors with division, which in my opinion is a lot easier. So is 3 a factor of 18? Okay, so we're going to use division to find this out. So 18 divided by 3. 3 times 6 is 18. We have 0 at the bottom, so there is a remainder of 0. So that means, yes, 3 is a factor of 18 because it goes in there evenly with no remainder. Okay, then we'll try, is 3 a factor of 17? Divided by 3. 3 times 5 is 15. Got a remainder of 2. So it is not a factor, because in order for this to be a factor, a division problem would have to have no remainder. So we can also find whether something is a factor by dividing, and if there's no remainder, it's a factor. If there is a remainder, it's not a factor. Let's try one more. Is 3 a factor of 85? So this is a little bit bigger number, but you can do the exact same thing. So let's take 85 divided by 3. Oops, sorry, 25. Go. Then we would subtract 24. We have a remainder of 1, so not a factor. Now it says is 3 a factor of 86, so let's try that over here. Again, you have 2, 26. there's a remainder again, so no, it is not. All right, so those are our three methods of finding factors, or whether or not something's a factor, I should say. We've got one last part here, which is about choosing a method. So our two main methods, again, are probably the skip counting and division. And you can just choose whichever one you're more comfortable with. So here's an example. Is 18 a factor of 90? You can use either method to find the answer. In this case, I recommend using skip counting because it is kind of annoying to do long division with 90 divided by 18, which is kind of annoying. So that's why I'm gonna not do it. Instead, I'm gonna skip count. So if I'm skip counting by 18, 18, 36, 54, 72, 90. Oh, yes, 18 is a factor of 90. Okay, and now part B, is 3 a factor of 526? I'm going to recommend using division because dividing by 3 is pretty easy. And if I try to skip count way up to 526, it will just take me way too long. So let's try dividing instead. Divided by 3. Okay, so we get a remainder, so that means that it is not a factor. There's never really a wrong way to figure it out. You can use either method that you like. One might be slower than the other, so just try to choose whichever one you think is easier. All right, let's go check out our boss question real quick. So hopefully, even if you weren't able to do that boss question at the start of the lesson, you've got an idea of where to start now. So please put your answer in the math document, and I will check it out.